I'm Helen. I'm 48 years old and I live in North Wales in a small village. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in January this year. I found a lump just before Christmas in my left-hand side. And because I'm obviously 48 and I'm not receiving mammograms at the moment, I've got quite a long history in the family of breast cancer. So I rang the doctors just after Christmas. Couldn't get in for 10 days, which was very worrying, but that's how the cookie crumbles during COVID. Went to the doctors, and with my history of breast cancer, she immediately referred me to my local hospital, and I was whizzed through. And the consultant was absolutely amazing. And he said, I don't think there's anything to worry about, but we'll give you a full MOT while you're here. So he gave me the full MOT. I went through first for a mammogram, and the radiographer carrying out the mammogram actually found breast cancer in both breasts at that time. So I went through for the ultrasound, and I had some biopsies taken. And on the same day, I was called back in to the consultant. I was on my own. I didn't tell anybody I was going, which was a bit scary and a bit daft with hindsight, but I didn't want to alarm or worry anybody, any of the family. And I was called back into the consultant's room, and I was told that he'd found something and it was quite nasty, and that I'd have to come back a week on Wednesday where he would give me a full plan. So I came home, told my partner, we went back a week on Wednesday. I was told I had and confirmed I had breast cancer in both breasts and a different type of breast cancer in each breast. It had spread to my lymph nodes on the left as well. So I had full lymph clearance, and I had cancer in 11 out of the 18 nodes that were removed. I feel very, very lucky and very, very grateful that it was picked up. And I had a grade 3 on the left and a grade 2 on the right. So in my planning meeting, the oncologist, the surgeon said to me, we will take a lump out of both breasts and we'll remove your lymph nodes. Any questions? And because my mum has had breast cancer, my auntie has had breast cancer 6 years ago and has currently got it again in the other breast, I asked him if he could remove both of my breasts, and he agreed. And I said, get me the paper, let me sign it before he changed his mind. And I felt really, really grateful. And still to this day, I feel absolutely so lucky. So I had both breasts removed on March the 11th, and it went absolutely swimmingly, had all my lymph nodes cleared on the left. And then I started quite invasive chemotherapy just for the left-hand side, which is the side I'd found myself. The lump was quite strange. It was quite high up and it felt like a bit like a sausage. It was strange. The one on the right isn't as severe, so I didn't need any treatment for that. I just finished my chemotherapy. I had 6 cycles. I had 3 cycles of 2 different chemotherapy drugs mixed together. And then the last 3 cycles, I had a different type of chemotherapy. This left me quite poorly, quite sick. It wasn't an easy ride, but I didn't end up in hospital at all throughout any of it. Whereas my auntie, who is going through exactly the same, she's 20 years older than me, she has been in hospital a lot, and she's had a blood clot, she's had sepsis, and she's been through the mill. So I count my lucky stars every day, but my treatment has gone not great, but quite easy compared to a lot of other people. I'm currently halfway through my radiotherapy, which is going fine. There are side effects, obviously, which I need to look out for, and they come on a little bit later. The main one is lymphedema, because obviously I've had my lymph nodes removed on the left-hand side, which act as a carrier to take any fluid away. And obviously I've not got that facility anymore. So I'm having radiotherapy in 3 areas. I'm having it in my neck, because the type of cancer I've got can spread up to your brain. I'm having it under my arm in my lymph nodes where the cancer was found there, and I'm having it actually in my boob, which I now call a no boob. We've got to laugh. The family have laughed all the way through it, and that's how we have got through everything. I've got a partner, I've got a 13-year-old boy, and I've got a 17-year-old daughter. So we've just laughed lots and lots and lots, and it's got us through it, and that's how we've managed. Um, I'm currently, as I say, halfway through my radiotherapy. It's going really good, and my team, the whole team in North Wales, have been treated at Wrexham and Glenclwyd Cancer Centre, have been amazing, absolutely amazing, and I thank them each and every day for saving my life. So thank you. So with COVID and everything else that's going on at the moment, I haven't had much opportunity to actually get out there and have a look at the complementary therapies that there are. I think I'm a bit new yet for all that, but it's definitely something I want to have a look at in the future. I've recently got myself some mistletoe because I've heard that's very, very good as a complementary therapy. So that'll be great. But with regard to other complementary therapies, my mum has actually been 20 years now post breast cancer, and if we were going to a spa, which we absolutely love to do, we've tried various spas over the years, and we're lucky enough to live in a very small village, and there's a lovely lady in the village that actually knows us, so she actually carries out treatments for my mum. But we have been turned away from many spas and salons in the past 20 years. Um, because I've always rang to make the appointments, and I've always been very clear that my mum has had a single mastectomy and a full lymph clearance. But you still turn up and they say, and then you start filling in the actual health questionnaire, and you put, yeah, I've had breast cancer in the past, and yeah, I've had a full lymph clearance, and they'll still say, sorry, we can't offer you anything, even though I've rang in advance up front and actually told them. It's very upsetting when that happens, and I'm quite a strong individual, and so is my mum. And you have to laugh about it in the end, but at the time it can be rather upsetting. Why am I being ostracized when they'll carry out a therapy for somebody who hasn't got breast cancer? And I know that you have to be very, very careful once you've had a lymph clearance, obviously with lymphedema and the fluid just under the soft tissue. I'm fully aware of that. My mum hasn't, thankfully, suffered with lymphedema and never has. She's been really lucky. And I've always said that. And we love having hot stone therapies, me and my mum, absolutely love it, because we love being warm. And there's a big reluctance around it to actually provide that to breast cancer sufferers. And I know myself, if I went to one now, obviously having suffered breast cancer myself, I would be really, really upset. It would leave me very, very upset. Why are you separating me from everybody else? What's the issue? You'd come out of there feeling really upset, and that's not what you go to a spa for. You go to want to feel better. You're having a lovely massage or hot stones or whatever that may be, and you come out of there feeling the opposite of the reason why you actually went. And so, is it actually worth it in the end? And that's definitely something that I will consider in the future. I went on to a course yesterday with Breast Cancer Now, and now realise that there's obviously a level 4, which I can actually look out for now and see if there's anybody in my area that is qualified to a level 4. And that's not something I'd heard of before. And, I think it's really important. But obviously, cancer affects us all. I've got no hair, I've got no eyelashes, I've got no eyebrows, I've put on tons of weight, I've got no breasts. And then to actually be turned away when you're actually there to receive something, and you've already phoned ahead and said, actually, I've got breast cancer. I can fully understand now how my mum felt at the time, and it's happened a lot. So I would really, really like it in the future if things like that were sorted in advance. And if I ring in advance and say I've got breast cancer, and they say, well, I'm sorry, we haven't got anybody here that is able to provide that specialist, that would be great, and I'd look somewhere else, and then I wouldn't have the same problems once I got there, and the same feelings when I left. So I would really, really like it if something could be done about that in the future. That would be brilliant. So thank you.